Hello friends, this is Mitra and you are watching your favorite channel Java Mitra. So in this video session I will talk about event handling in JTable. That is, if user interact with JTable, then how to fetch data from table. So here I have talked about how to get row and column number. The get selected row and get selected column method is there JTable object to get the integer value of row index and column index. And the list selection event is generated when selection is made on table. Actually, JTable doesn't generate any selection event. It gives the responsibility to handle the event to ListSelectionModel, and there is a getSelectionModel method with the help of which we can get the object of ListSelectionModel. So in this way, we will first get the selection model object, and then on it we can apply ListSelectionListener to get information when user interact with the JTable. So let us see it by a simple code. First of all, import the packages required to use in our program, and then create a class as table demo, then two array for header and data, and now have a constructor of table demo class. Let's create an object of JTable by passing data and header. Create a scroll pan by passing the table object. The scroll pan in the central region of your frame. Let us create one text field to show that what user has selected in the table, and then add the text into south of the frame. Now set the size of frame, the visibility, and then close operation. Now add a main method and create an object of this class. So in this way I have a table with 3 headers and number 3 rows as a data. So let us see the code. Let us compile this code first. And there is huge number of error. Why? You can understand that we did not extend the frame. Now let us recompile, and it's done. Run the program, and we have a frame with all our data and headers here on the screen. So I want to show that if a user interact with the table, the value selected by user will be shown here in this text field. Text field is added in the south part of the frame. Let us go and think about how we can listen the user interaction on table. So first thing is that we need a ListSelectionModel object to handle the ListSelectionEvent. So first of all, we need to add a listener. First we need ListSelectionModel object. So let us get the ListSelectionModel object. ListSelectionModel. We calling the method getSelectionModel on table object. We have a ListSelectionModel object, and now we need to add a listener. Let us define anonymously. There is only one method, value changed, and I have to define for this interface. Here we can get the index of row by table.get selected row method, and column by table.get selected column method. And now we can set text in text field by using table.get value at row comma column. So in this way, by passing row index and column index, we can have the value. That value is in a string form, so we have to convert it into string, and that string is set to the text field. So let us see after compilation what will happen. There is some error in code that our JTable is a local variable and it should be final if I want to use it in inner class. let's make it final. And one thing I have wrongly typed here, add ListSelectionListener instead of set. So the compilation is done. Now let us execute this program. We have our table on the screen, and if I will select anyone, the value is in the text field. If I will change, we will have a new one value here. So if user select any cell, the value is shown on the text field. So let us first change the selection from rows to cell. That is, we can select particular cell in this table. So let us make it enable by calling a method table.set cell selection enabled and pass it true. Let us recompile and run the program. Now we can select a particular cell instead of a whole row. And you can see that whenever I select different column, it gives the selected value in the text field. So we are able to fetch data selected by the user. Problem is that if I select in same row, the value is not changed. Like in second row I am changing the selection, but value is still 2. If I change to third row and select name, then it always show the name. That means I cannot change the column index. I am not able to change the column index. That is why if I am in the same row, it will always show the first one data, and if I will change the row, it will give the different value, and then once again if I will remain in same row, it will not give the new one value. It will always show the first one selected value of particular row. That is, I cannot change the column index, and so the value remains same. So what to do to get correct column index? I'm copying this anonymous inner classes statement and doing paste here. And instead of ListSelectionModel, I will add some more statement. Table.getColumnModel.getSelectionModel. And now just I'm doing some changes. I'm making row index and column index as a data member here, so that I can use in different places. I'm removing the fetching column index from the first one listener, and the row getting row index from the second one inner class. So what is the difference is that first one using LSM, ListSelectionModel, and adding a listener. However, in second anonymous inner class, I am using table.getColumnModel.getSelectionModel dot add ListSelectionListener. So this listener is applying on the selection model of column model. The first one listener is applied to the list selection model of table. So in this way I am getting row index from the first one inner class and column index from the second one inner class. So let us compile, run the program, and now if I select different value in different rows, there is no problem, and if I change different column in same row, even then I can fetch the data from the table. So in this way, by using list selection model object of table object, we can fetch the row index, and by getting list selection model of column model of table object, we can fetch the index of column. The row and column both are find out, and then I am adding text.setText to find that text value selected by the user in the text field. So I guess you have understand that how we can get value from JTable. Thank you very much.